What's going on, guys? I'm back with a brand new series review for you guys. I just watched a show called Barry Season 3. This is the third time. All right. Starring Bill Hader, Sarah Goldberg, and Henry Winkler. First of all, I want to talk about the high potential of Bill Hader. All right. He's been underrated for a long time. From the beginning of his starts on SNL, this guy was one of the master impressionists. Okay, there are some other ones that are great too, but he is one of the best of recent. Okay, I think in 2007 when I personally recognized him for movies like Superbad, where he played the cop, and Hot Rods, where he played one of their little buddies that was getting in trouble with them. And there's a pattern here, because yes, he's in his movies and he does a great job, but he still doesn't really stand out as one of the top characters. Okay? And then so later on, 2008, we get Tropic Thunder, where he's the kiss-ass assistant. And he got Forgetting Sarah Silverman. Sarah Marshall. Where, he's once again the married buddy, all right, of the main character. Once again, a side character. Still did a great job at what he was assigned for. Then in 2009, he came out with Adventureland. He's the boss. He's the boss of the main character. Another side character. But he did what he had to do comedically with that character he was given. Okay? Then in 2013, To-Do List came out. One of my favorite movies from him, or that he was in yet. All right, and in this one, he started to portray one of his best things that he's good at. Impressions, because he did a great impression of Eddie Vedder. It's dead on. I want to see another comedian do a Eddie Vedder impression like he did. It's a challenge. Okay, I was impressed. Then in 2019, of course, It Chapter 2 came out. I did skip Trainwrecks. He was also in that. Very forgettable. Did his job, what he's supposed to do, but also very forgettable as the character, because he wasn't main. Okay? And my question is now, because now we have Barry Season 3. He's in his third season of the Barry TV show. I still don't hear enough people talking about this show as they should. It's won 2 awards, even though I don't really go by awards anymore, blah, blah, blah. But it did win 2 awards, okay? And so my question is, after Season 3, can we finally get this guy in his own lead role in a dang movie? We're about to find out. Let's go. Let's find out if this is good enough to get him there. Let's go. Barry Season 3. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, look, if you don't keep up with a lot of shows on HBO Max, then you probably don't know about Season 3. You probably don't know about Season 3. Probably don't know about Barry at all, which is sad. Very sad, in my opinion. You should know about Barry by now. All the other shows you watch, you don't know about Barry? Okay, I'm going to penalize you anyways. I'm going to penalize you anyways for that one. All right. Barry, Season 3. It's pretty much leading off from the last season, of course, Season 2, where, Mr. Kosana, or however you say his name, is kidnapped and then shown the dead body of his ex-girlfriend by a certain person. Okay, and this, of course, stirs up a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of anger and feelings, and resentment, of course, with Mr. Kosanov towards Barry. And so in this season, he's on a mission, Mr. Kosanov himself, to bring Barry down with his own hands. All right, and not only that happening, but Barry is having an epiphany of his own, with how his life is just slowly starting to catch up with him in a way, right? And everybody around him is beginning to suffer because of the life that he lives. All right, and that is the premise of season 3, Barry. Positives. Even though, yes, it's a dark comedy and the other 2 seasons had humor here and there as well, nothing did it better, like season 3 for Barry. I think in this one, it had just a way of, in between all the seriousness and the darkness within this show, the humor jumped in there so hard. There were parts in this show that were like, man, what the hell? Where the hell did that come from? Where did that joke come from? There's a part in this show with another ex-SNL cast member. All right, you'll know at the bottom of the screen, where she just pops in there and she does this bit where she's taking elements from one of her characters on SNL. All right, and she's working that element for like about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 to 5 minutes. All right. And it had me rolling. I didn't even expect her to be in the show, but I knew once I saw her that it was all the seriousness was out the door for those 5 minutes. Okay, that she was on set. Okay, and there are other just crazy parts in the show, like just how bad and unreliable the police department is in this show. Just very unreliable. Just the worst police department ever. Somebody had to come in, not gonna say who it was. Somebody else had to come in and show them, one person, how to do their job the correct way. And so that was so funny. That was just extremely funny to me. All right. Another positive. The character development was just so strong this season, man. All right. Not only did you have his girlfriend, played by, Sarah Goldberg, who for a long time was just this annoying character that you wanted to see just go away. Me included, okay? But on this one, I actually start to feel for her. Okay? She's reaching her height as an actress. At the same time, she's slowly figuring out and finding out that actress game is deadly. Not deadly like that, but it's just you don't know who to trust sometimes. People can stab you in your back so quick trying to come up as an actress like that. You don't know who to trust. Everybody's not your friend in show business. She's finding that out. Okay, and then there's also something that happens that I won't say to her that kind of brings her to the mentality of how Barry thinks. Okay, and I was like, oh, when it happens, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that went down like that. I didn't see it coming, and the way it went down, it was just shocking. At the least, it was so shocking that she was brought to this level of how you think or how a person operates, pretty much. I never saw that coming. Okay, so I respected that. Barry as well. I think Barry is finally and slowly figuring out, and I'll talk more about this later on, about what he's doing is not normal. All right, he's slowly figuring this out, and through other people's reactions to how he tries to live his everyday life. He's an assassin trying to be a normal person, but it's not working for him. All right, so I expected that, as well as Henry Winkler's character, Mr. Cosimo. He's having an epiphany of his own. All right, he's going through this whole journey where he's apologizing for how he used to be, this hard ass and this just a butthead, a jerk to everybody in the business, and that's why he is where he is. And he never went any further because of his so I say jackassery. And so he's figuring it out himself. I like that. Another positive. This had some crazy action sequences. Now, yes, the other seasons had good action sequences too, especially season 2 with the one. I'll talk about that another time though. But in this season, it felt like every action scene was so outrageous, and it just escalated to something worse worse than what it was. There's a motorcycle scene in the show that it escalates so fast. And it goes on for a minute though. All right, but at the same time, you're thinking to yourself, how is it that these bikers can be so incompetent? Right? How are they so bad at what they do? And it has my heart racing. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, should I be worried by this point? But the way they do it is perfect. It's perfect. I'm not gonna lie. It still was a good scene. Loved every minute of that. All right. My last positive. Like I said earlier, Barry is finally catching up with his life. All right. What he does for a living after he got out of the war, killing people and whatnot for money, it's finally catching up with him in the worst way. And he's coming to a point where he's going to have to make a decision on something, or it's just going to get worse from there. It's going to hit the wall. His wife's going to hit the wall real quick. And I like how he comes to that decision. I like how he comes to this thought in his head of, oh my God, I don't think I'm normal. There's scenes in here that had me so kind of a little upset with Barry. All right, with the way he handled things, and so I was like, I know he has to see this for himself, how he's acting. Loved it. Negatives. This show unfortunately pushed an unnecessary agenda that didn't rub me the right way. Okay, it involves a character called NoHo Hank. Good character. We all know he's eccentric. All right, for most talk. But we you could guess and want to guess what you think about him. But they didn't need to elevate that thought or elevate that his character to something else just to push their narrative. All right, I feel like they were pushing a narrative. Like they could have done something else completely different. It would still been funny, and they would have got their point across with his character. I did not like that at all. I didn't like it. It felt forced. It felt forced. Another negative. How many times can one character or two cheat death? How many times can these characters that I guess are going to whatever, do this and that, or eventually make this choice? How many times are they going to cheat death? All right, that was so annoying to me. When certain things happen to you in real life, okay, you don't survive it like that. That's not how you survive. All right, nobody makes it out of certain things that happen to these characters in this show. It was almost like a messed up cartoon. And you're like, oh my God, I know they're not going to pull this stunt. And they just did it. They just did that. They just had this guy go through this, get shot here, get hit here, whatever. And they still get back up. This is not a superhero show, okay? Somebody's gonna have to suffer for their consequences at one point. Trust me. Please, please, be a little more realistic with that. All I ask. And then for my last negative, there's a character in here by the name of Katie, right? She's a co-star with Barry's girlfriend and her show that she's trying to do or push on the show. And she notices a scene where Barry was being a little, too Barry with her. He can lash out. Everybody left the room but her. She was so stunned by this. But at the same time, she felt like she needed to tell somebody. If you're gonna tell somebody, just tell somebody. Stop tugging and pulling and poking at the wound. And just do something. Or don't. She was so annoying for that. I'm not saying that wasn't right. That was right what he did. But still, if you're gonna do something, do something. If you're not, then don't. Make a decision. Make a decision. Stop nagging at it. Still, I'm gonna have to give this a hell yes. I want to see where this is gonna go. All right, I'm very interested where this show is going now. I didn't think the third season was going to reel me back in, but it reeled me back into this show so quickly. I'm sure and I guarantee you there's going to be a season 4. All right, going to watch out for that. I want you to subscribe, like, and you better share this.